Okay, so I have been kind of researching this for some time now. I've been trying to set up VS Code for OpenGL, and while there's many information on how to do that, I wanted to set it up in a specific way. You might call it the more advanced or more difficult way to do so, but nevertheless, I want to do something that is more comfortable. So here it is. I'm going to show you how to set up VS Code for OpenGL. So the first thing I'm going to assume is that you have your VS Code installed and you have the C/C++ extension, the extension pack, the C/C++ themes, and your code runner. So this is all you need, and that's it. And of course, and also you should open a folder. I opened this one, VS Code. And so as you can see, I'm just basically starting from scratch. So I have nothing in here and I only have these 4 extensions installed. So we're finished here. And now what we're going to do now is we're going to download the firmwares for OpenGL. So we'll go to the GFW. This is the official website. And well, I'm downloading the 64-bit Windows binaries. So I'm going to save this to my downloads, and I'll put the link in the description for them. But if you just type in install glfw, you should be able to find it. But nevertheless, I'll still put it there. The next is GLEW. So installation. Okay, so I'm going to go to the download, and I'm going to download the Windows 32-bit and 64-bit. So I'm going to wait. Okay, it's loading. Don't know why it's taking so long, but okay. All right. So now go into my file explorer and go to downloads. Here they are, these two. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to extract both of them. So I'm going to say extract here, and it's going to give me 2 folders. So here they are. Now what I'm going to do is, because these are both needed for using OpenGL, and for any OpenGL projects I'm going to have, I will be using them. So I want to sort of have them in a specific location, and then when I'm using my OpenGL, or when I create any projects or any multiple projects, I can just simply tell my program that, hey, the files or the firmware is in this location, and the location I'm putting it in is my C drive. Yeah. Okay, so they're in my C drive. So that's the first step. Okay. Now, the next step I'm going to do now is, let's pause this. Okay, so now I had to do a little research for a second there. But okay, so the next thing you need to do, let me just delete this. So the next thing we need to do, once we have our project folder here, we're now going to create a new folder, and we're going to name it .vscode, right? And then now we're going to create 3 files. I think there's going to be a 4th one called settings, but for now, let's create the 3. So I'm going to now create a new file, and I'm going to name this task, tasks, task.json. And I'm going to create another new folder, and I'm going to name this one launch.json. Oops, I created a folder, sorry. New file, launch.json, and and also c underscore properties, cpp underscore properties dot S-O-N. There should be a settings as well, but not sure about that one. But anyway, these are the three files that you should have so far. And wait a second, these should be inside the VS Code folder. Yes. So I just move them inside. So they should be inside like this. I'm going to create a new file. Let's call it hello world.cpp. Right. So this one is inside the main folder, and then we have our config here. And this is our hello world. So you can create another folder to have, all right, let's do it. So let's create a folder and let's call it my projects. And we'll just put the hello world inside there. So there you go. You can just have it like that. Okay. I can close the welcome. All right, now, so we're going to go to the Visual Studio Code's official website for downloading it, and we're going to now populate these three files. So let's go through it. So let's go all the way up to, let's see, all the way to here, right here. So understanding tasks. So you can read this page. It has a very good documentation. I haven't really read everything, but I just basically took out the parts that I need. And what I need now is this file here, tasks. So I'm going to copy all of this, Control C, and I'm going to paste it here. So this is going to be my tasks. It's going to go over to launch. Oops. Where was I? Firefox, right? So this is my tasks. I'm going to scroll down and sorry, and I'm going, this is my launch, so I'm going to copy this, Control C, Control V, Control V. Okay. And next now is the properties. Here we go. Control V. Okay, so this is the next important step. So these are the three files we're going to be using. Okay, so now that we have all these three files, though, keep in mind we're setting it up for OpenGL. So it means therefore that we are going to have to add certain paths to, or because this is going to be build, this is what is going to be building our code. So we're now going to have to add certain paths now so it can know how to use the OpenGL. Now, I did say hello world, but what I should have actually had though was what you call, let's see, the, come over, GLFW. I'm going to go to the documentation. No, not documentation. Okay, cancel. There was a section that had release notes. Where was it? Oh, documentation, sorry. Right, so this is the code for GLFW. So Control C, Control V. So save that, rename it to, let's say, my first OpenGL prog. Okay, so take a look at this now. So this is some code that's basically going to create a window called hello, and it's going to be called hello world. But notice something, we have errors. So if we try to run this, it's not going to work because it has no idea where this path is. So let's fix that. So the first thing we're going to do now is to go to our tasks, right? Now, I haven't memorized all the code, but I have done this before. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to go to my documents. I'm going to come down here and I'm basically going to take a look at the code that I let's see, so this is the tasks.json. So I'm going to simply copy it here. Okay. So you can just ignore, well, okay, this is the section. This is the important section. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste this down here. Okay, so comma. So this is the important part. Now, okay, now here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just back these up and I'll just explain everything in a second. So this right here, or let me back it up some bit. Tab. Okay, it's actually space. I just want, all right, let me, all right, since it's already like that, let me just use a tab and just get everything in line. I just like when everything is just in line. Okay, so this was the part that we had originally, right? And all of this here is the new part, but what's going on? All right, this section right here, I don't fully understand everything, but this, all I know is that this section right here is for the include path. So this is telling it that this is going to be an include path. Now, how do I get this? So I'm just going to delete this. I'm just going to delete this. So we're going to do it step by step. So I want to first give it the path to the include folder for glfw. So we're going to come here now. We're going to go to the C drive. Remember previously we downloaded this framework GLEW and GLFW. So we're going to go to GLFW, include, and we're stopping right here. I'm just going to click here and then say Control C. So this is in the address bar, I think. So Control C and Control V. And then all we simply have to do now is to add an extra, I think this is the backslash, and to here and to here. So that's the first part. So again, that's the first part right here. Okay, so moving on. Dash I, because I want to add another include path, and then I'm just going to delete this. I'm going to show it to you how I got this. So we're going to go back now to Windows, GLEW, include, and we're stopping right here. We're not going to continue. We're going to copy this. Again, I'm going to click up here, right here, and then I'm copying this, and then I'm going to paste it, Control V right here, and I'm just simply going to add a /. That's it. So Control S to save. Now I am finished with the include parts. So now I'm right here. So this is now going to be the libraries. That's why you see -L. Now for the libraries, so I'm going to delete this. Okay. Let me see if I close this one. Okay, so the libraries now. So this one now is going to be a little bit tricky. So we're going to start with, let me see, started with the GLEW. So GLEW, and this is now where we're going. LIB, okay, now you're going to want to stop here. Well, at least you think so, but no, you don't stop here. I mean, notice for the include, we stopped at include, so you might think that we should stop at LIB, but no, we need to go straight, release x64 straight until we get these two files. Then we will copy this path. So as you can see that this part was wrong before. Okay, so again, we're going to add our our backslash. So clear this up. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to add another library path, and I'm going to delete this to show you how I got it. So this is GLEW, so I'm now going to go for GLFW. Oops, put it here. Okay, so now for GLFW. So GLFW, we're going to use this one, and we can stop here because these are the files we're interested in. So Control C, and I'm going to paste it right here, and then // right. So now we have all the paths here for the include and for the include folders and the library folders. So now we need to get to the linkers now. Now, this part is very important. As a matter of fact, this is the reason why it took me about 7 days to figure this out. This section right here. Now, these are going to be the linkers. So this is GLFW. So let me go to the GLFW path. Here it is. Now, normally, normally this was a tricky part. Normally, you would have just simply this GLFW3 and you're fine. But I found it not to work. You have to put the DLL. I don't know why, but you have to put DLL. Don't just stop at the name. Now, the funny thing is, I had to put the DLL here for the GLFW, but if we go to the GLEW, and which one was it now? It was the, I think it was for the library, right? Right, the GLFW, I don't have to put LIB at the end. I can just leave it like this. So anyway, this is the most important part, and then we have L-L GLEW32. So that's this file right here, GLEW32. And the last one now is, well, this is for the OpenGL. There's no real, I didn't really find any location for any such file, but just make sure this part is there as well. And that is it for the tasks. But if we come back here now, oh no, it's still saying the same thing. Let me close it and open it again. There, still errors. We're not finished as yet. We now need to go to the properties section. Okay, now what we want to do now is we want to include, we want to place the include paths for GLFW and GLEW here. So I'm going to now put a comma. All right, let me enter first. So I'm going to move this square bracket down here and I'm going to put a comma right here. Now, basically, what I'm simply doing, I could go back to my folder and do the whole copy and pasting, or I could just come here because, I mean, it's going to be using the same path. I could come here and copy this file, this path. Okay, I should have the quotation marks as well. So I'm copying all of this and I'm going to place it right here. Save that. Oh, by the way, look at that. See? Bingo. But some of your files are going to include both location, both GLFW and GLEW. So I'm going to also have this path as well. Where is it now? The GLEW include path. That's this one. And I'm going to paste it right here. You don't need the comma, so you can just leave it like that. Okay, now let's try to run the code. Oh no, what happened? Okay, all right. This is another thing. I actually set it up so that the code is displayed in the output and command prompt is launched. But I think I'm going to go back to the original way in which the VS Code works. So I'm just going to do that in a second. Okay, so I was thinking to myself, I probably should show you how it is done. So here's what I did. So it displayed information in the output at first. So here's how you fix that. So I'm going to go to settings. All right, let me close this. Close that and close this. All right, so you're going to go to settings. You're going to type in code runner map. And this is what you want, code runner executor map. So you're going to say edit in settings. Then now you're going to change code. This should be set to false. And if you see the code running in the output, that means this is set to false. So I'm going to change this to true and I'm going to save it. So when I go here now, it switches to the terminal and it's taken a while. I press the play, so it should be trying to run this code right here. I guess maybe my PC is slow, but I'm going to just pause and wait for, okay, here it is. So see users that YouTube. Okay, beautiful. Right, this is what I'm accustomed. Okay, now what's going on? What's going on? I mean, this was another thing that I struggled with. All right, let me close settings. Let me close this as well. So it's now working like this. So what's going on? I mean, we literally put the library here. I mean, the include folders, we have everything included here. We have our include folders in the properties. So we have them in two places, and yet still it's telling me that it can't, there's no such file directory. What's going on? Well, guess what? The reason why you're seeing this is because you're actually using Code Runner. I'm going to show you something. If I were to use this CP, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do a little edit right here. So just to make things a lot easier to work with. So this is called, this label right here, this is what, okay, when you press Control Shift B, it's going to execute a build task. Now this build task, all right, let me wait. So it's building. Again, maybe my PC is just slow. Okay, this is definitely, but all right, look at that. Beautiful. We have our OpenGL program built. That's nice. So if I were to know, okay, no, so it has been built. Now, why is it that when I press run, I am getting this? What's going on? It builds successfully, but it won't run. Well, here's the problem. When we use the Control Shift B, this is the task that is being run. This is the only task, by the way. So that is why it defaults to this when we press Control Shift B. Now, this task contains the location for all of these files. However, if we go to Settings, Code Runner, CPP, sorry, Code Runner map. If we come here, okay, now because I'm using C++, I'm going to just take this line and I'm going to come up here. Okay, I'm going to paste this here. All right, just to have it at the top so it's easy for you to see. Okay, now this is the command that is being executed when we run Code Runner. You notice something? You have the file name without the extension, but we don't have any of this. So it means therefore that Code Runner has no idea where the include file paths are. So we need to have them included in this line. So I'm going to pause. I don't remember the entire code. So I'm going to pause the video and get the necessary code, paste it, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I basically launched a document where I'd saved the code in. So I'm just going to paste it, but I'm not going to delete this because I'm going to show you in details what changes were made. So wow, look at that. So this is all this was missing, but let's break it down. I don't understand everything, but I'm going to show you something. Take a look. Notice how this line, these two lines are perfectly identical. However, watch this. We're now adding the paths to the include folders. So basically you're going to be you're going to go back to your task JSON, and you're just going to be, well, you're going to start with the -i, right? And you're going to be copying each path. So you're going to start with the -i, you're going to, and make sure it's capital, you're going to start by copying this path and you're going to place it. Let's see. All right, we're finished with this, and we're yeah, we should be finished with this as well. Okay, so these are the two files we're going to be focusing on. So you're simply going to put the -i right after the file name without the extension. You're going to put -i, then you're going to copy this path right here. You're going to paste it. So you're going to have to leave a space and you're going to paste it here. Then another -i. You're going to come down here now, and this is going to be the include path for GLEW. So after the -i, you're going to paste it right here, and that's it for the include paths. Notice all of this is the include paths. We're finished from here to here. That's the include path. So I'm going to move over like that. Then now it's going to be -l. So we're going to do the libraries. So come here now, after the -l, we're going to copy the libraries now. So that's this path here. We'll copy it, and Okay, it seems to me, okay, this was, which one was it now? This was GLEW, GLEW. Okay, the order doesn't really matter. Notice I have GLFW, but you can just put the GLEW. As long as you have the dash L, you can put any one of the parts for it. So let's pretend this is GLEW. You're going to paste it right here, and then dash L again, and then the final path, which you get from the task. So this has all the information you need. You just basically eliminate quotation marks, use the dash L. And again, the most important part for the linkers, you need the DLL. You definitely need it. Don't leave that off. Dash GLEW and then dash the OpenGL. Then now the other important part, you're going to have a dot / and you're going to have this line. If you want, I can post all of this in the comment section if you want, but I mean, so you don't really have to type it out. But I mean, if you do copy it, then I guess you may not have to change much. But anyway, this is the code. So I'm just going to delete the original one, delete this one here, and this is now going to be our new code runner for the CPP file. So I'm going to save this and then watch what happens. When I come back here now and I press run, I'm going to wait. Notice it updates, and then let's see what happens. Okay, it seems interesting. All right, let me close this down and then start it again. So I'm going to delete this. This was already built, and I'm going to say run. That's it creates the file. Oh, okay, no. All right, so here's our next problem now. I just remembered. Here's our next problem. So what's going on? This is supposed to launch a window. Why isn't it launching? Took me quite some time to figure it out, but let me show you really what's happening. So I'm going to say reveal in File Explorer. Here's the file. Watch this now. I'm going to double click on it. Wow, look at that. The code execution cannot proceed because glfw3.dll was not found. Okay, note this, very important. So what are we going to do? We're going to locate this file. So we're going to manually go here. Let's go to, okay, wait. Should I leave it? All right, let's move this to the side. So remember, we're locating this file. So I'm going to close this and let's go to Windows. It was what? GLFW. So GLFW, and I think this is the include. Let me see if I'm, no, sorry. It's library. So here it is, glfw.3. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this file. So you can either, let's minimize that. So you can take this file and we're going to drag it into my projects. Here we go. So now if I say, okay, reveal in File Explorer, here it is. This is the file. So I'm going to say okay. So everything is going to close down. Now I'm going to double click on this again. All right, there we go. So there is our hello world. Now we know that it's working because we've added this file. Now let me close this. Let's go back to Code Runner and let's try to run it and see if it will actually launch the file or launch the window. And there you have it. The window is launched. So yeah, so now your VS Code is set up to run OpenGL. So yeah, now there are some improvements that I want to make. Now, one of the first improvements is that I want it to all right, I would really like to have this file when I use Code Runner to run this code. I would really love for this file to be copied here in this location. So that's an improvement that I would like to make. But so far, you have to manually move it. I know this is highly customizable. There's many things you can do, but I just thought that I would just share how it is that I set up the VS Code for OpenGL. So yeah, that is that. And so if it was helpful to you, you can like, subscribe, and I will try to, as I said in my channel description, basically I am using it to, this is basically for like my own personal basically discoveries. So yeah.